Back again. Hi guys, welcome to the Friends of Football podcast episode 4. We like the progress. We appreciate the love you're giving us. The views also coming in. We like it, man. Keep on commenting and also giving us your views and thoughts on how we can make it better and better. We really appreciate it, man. And it's been a really good week, interesting week of football. Also interesting week in terms of the changes that are happening in the country regarding the president's speech. We'll talk about that. And before we get into the discussion, let my analyst, my fellow football friends introduce themselves like they insisted last time.
Ray Torres.
Imran Otieno.
Ugutu bole wasejo beti likataa.
Ndio nifanye wasema waonge jo.
Kidogo.
No. You know, this week has been really interesting, eh? Unajua ile swali wa Kenya wamekuwa wakiulizana. Unajua mjamaa ako na corona? Unajua msee ako na corona? Hii kitu haiko Kenya. Hii wiki mazee I can say najua msee ako na corona sasa. I actually have experienced somebody who has a corona. Okay. So guys, man, we need to keep safe. We need to observe the regulations that we are being given, the guidelines being given by MOH. Let's keep safe, man. This thing is real. This thing is lethal, man. Usingoje upate laugh sasa ndio uanze kusema I wish I knew.
We need to keep safe like Arsenal from the top 4. Thinking about 50. Guys, power.
Hey man, let's not talk about Arsenal. Arsenal
go down.
Go down, say, but yo.
Eli pole manze. Najua kitu must be affecting you. Pole man.
Not really. I mean, I expected it. We're not that good.
No, see you nasema best out.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah, but it's part of life, man. Yeah, he'll get better. He's getting better. Okay, guys, what's your highlight of the week, man? That was my highlight of the week. Corona is in Kenya finally, you know. Now
even Kenya actually, see tunaichukua tu lightly. So unapata tu keep it important sana. Hiyo kitu ni known. But my highlight of the week, Salah, pale cheki Liverpool, tukicheza. My beloved Liverpool. Kwa fiti. So I don't know. Oh, pia ni cheki Pogba, which is a player that I rate so much. Akifunga for Man U, unfortunately, but I was impressed.
My highlight of the week was not football related, of course. Nikipatiana highlights of football ni mingi because you know Man United has been winning, people scoring. Hadi highlight yake
Pogba VR bana. No nasema ni. Highlight of the week
we'll discuss that. But if I start putting football as part of my highlights, itakuwa refu because hata Pogba amemake highlight of the week ya Ray. So okay, my highlight of the week was the Kagwe briefing in Mombasa. Hiyo alisema aliulizwa kuhusu Robert Burale and akaenda up kusema Robert Murathe. That was funny. That was my highlight of the week, guys.
Okay, me highlight of the week, I think I'm close to perfecting my betting strategy. I've been losing by one game and it's just big teams. So I'll continue pushing that and hopefully I'll have something for you guys. So yeah.
All right, man, let's get the show started now. So we're going to start with the president's speech on Monday. Well, the reason we're starting with it is because of what he did not say. We as sportsmen and as friends of sports, we are disappointed. As fans, we are really disappointed. He didn't give any clear guideline as to how sports is going to resume in the country. And many felt they were, they were just disappointed. He said he did deliver a good speech. The lapsing of the cessation of movement into and out of Nairobi and Mombasa together with Mandera, which was really good. At least the movement can happen. Biashara iendelee, wase watengeneze do. But sportsman, I was disappointed. Okay, the advisory group was formed like a week before the speech, so maybe they don't have time. That's what I thought. But he didn't even mention anything regarding sports, man. After 4 months, guys are suffering out here.
Yeah, I think stakeholders of football, I think gonna let down. Maybe want to reach out before, or maybe just sports. All federations reach out, talk to him. We get guidelines of how we're going to get back to training. because going back to training means every ground has a lot of people. So grounds itakuaje ku handle numbers, because now football is the least important or the most important things. So hatuwezi kuwa tu tuna push tucheze ball without having the guidelines to go back to the pitch, or any sport. If you're a runner, tennis player, rugby player, kuna contact. But tutarudiaje kama kuna guidelines? Federation numbers come together, wachore guidelines, ndio tuende out sasa tucheze sports yenye sisi tunapenda. But without that, the president atangoja advice ya ile
committee. You know, na feel ni kama unajunga zile mafunctions za mtaani za ocha wase wamekam hata ma funerals, alafu imefikia time ya ku serve your food, alafu you anza na wase wa Nairobi kwanza, alafu wase wa ocha baadaye. Na vile wase wa ocha ndio sisi wase wa sports sasa mazee. We are not important nyinyi baadaye, man. We get the leftovers.
Yeah, I think it clearly shows how the government prioritizes sports, which I think if government ingeka focus on sports, tungekuwa mbali. Because if you look at countries like Spain, man, the money that they make from sports is insane. But here in Africa, unfortunately, we haven't tapped into that market. And as you said, the committee for resumption of sports was formed like in mid-June, and these other committees were formed way back, even like as far as early as April. So it shows where the government prioritizes sports. If you look at the stadiums, most of them are not completed. They say they completed in 6 months' time from 2017. We're still waiting for them to be completed. But as Ray said, we need proper guidelines because these players need to be tested. We need to know if the funds will be there. But I think that sports should resume because it's an entertainment. Like sahi watu wamechoka na history ya corona, like watching briefings all the time. Tunafaa kuona at least Gor playing Sony, hata kama Sony ilitolewa kwa ligi. We need to see like maybe AFC playing Zoo. Hizo vitu zitatubamba. So at least some entertainment, a break from corona. And like this week we also saw that the government has set up like centers for depression, and I think football can cure depression. We don't need those centers. Yes, we need them to cater for those people who don't watch sports, but I think it can be a relief from depression for a lot of people, because wachezaji sahi they are suffering, no money. Fans are also suffering, hakuna kubet, hakuna kuona magame.
Hata maplayer wana suffer our bet sai match fixing. Ni wachezaji lakini.
It's also a source of income for most of the journalists. Like me, I'm a sports journalist, but now I can't do sports because it's not there in Kenya.
Betting is bad. Betting is your fault.
It depends on
the match fixing.
We're just playing La Liga with betting advertisements.
Yeah.
Even England.
Yeah, but we're not Spain, man. We're not hatujafika hiyo levels.
Imran is better than the
How sure are you? That's
sure. There are people who just bet. Utadu vitu zingine if you only bet. So ina take time yako sana.
acha tusikie wise man good.
Mimi nasema hivi, kuna msanii anasema you make time for whatever is of interest to you. I've gone to many games. I've never seen my president at any of those games. That bothers me. Even the national team games, even when we qualified for Africa Cup of Nations, I never saw the guy. Maybe someone else saw him. Maybe it was
alikuwa mashemeji alikuwa the last match.
Yeah, but for me, I think if our president alikuwa anapenda ball like the rest of us, tungekuwa mbali sana. He would push for it himself. But unfortunately, I don't think kuna president anajali ball.
I also think una support. Kwa hiyo kwa papa, I think una support msako kwa ofisi. Kama Imran ako kwa ofisi and I think he's corrupt, I won't support football. Why should we support football?
Okay, so you've just indirectly said Nick is corrupt. Let's see.
No, if funds are being taken care of, accountability and all.
If you're the president of the federation, when COVID is going on in the world, you have one job. How does this affect football? Mazimi sijamsikia. I don't know. Sijamuona kwa mainstream.
Okay, tumemsikia kwa sababu just say the thing is with the FKF, the election is was supposed to have taken place, but hasn't taken place.
So anakaa kwa nyumba amehold, anangoja kupiga ballot. Go and fight for us guys, maze. We'll remember to vote for you ukienda udukitu useme maze, if we see you in the news talking to the president, pushing for us. Umekaa tu unangoja election, bro.
Yeah, government supports people when you go all out push vitu zao. So kama praise wa ball askumi sana labda gava inaona.
But you
We
see,
don't take him serious. Yeah.
to be fair to Nick, it's not only football that hasn't resumed, all sports. And actually, the one that is going to be most affected is athletics. Because Sahi kuna hizo Diamond League and Kenya has been banned from getting to Europe. So, as in, it's not only football that is affected. There are other sports, rugby, basketball, volleyball, athletics. Kwanza athletics ndio itakuwa mbaya. But Leona tweet ya Nick jana, he said something, he gave a hint like there's something good that's coming. Hopefully it's a resumption, I don't know.
Guys, let's be honest, as an England kid, and I'm not afraid to say, if it doesn't affect the food on your table, nobody cares. Let's be realistic. Nikana dishi, sijali kama waswimwa, people don't care. That's the reality. So I say, Voltaire, the next election I'll run for FKF Prem.
Issue yangu ni mtu azima president again. Kama na kam game na papa ndo president of federation na sioni kama he's accountable, nothing seems to work, kama doors to move people, I won't come. Naweza do vitu zingine, but if papa ni msem clever and mse think vision yake na resonate nayo, I'll go for the games. Hivyo ndo mimi naona situation ya president and again.
Okay.
Tell us what you think, guys, down below. Comment.
Yeah, FKF guys.
Let's continue. This week there was a tweet that caused a lot of hue and cry on social media. Don Rico himself, fire. It was hot, man. The streets were hot, man. Way. So the reason why we are saying it caused a lot of hue and cry is because Don Rico, the 12 players who were released by Wazito Football Club, which plays in the Kenyan Premier League, and these 12 players were mainly foreign players. A good chunk were local players, then also a good chunk were foreign players. We had Togolese players, Congolese, Liberian. There's a player from Liberia in there. And this is what Don Rico had to say when the players were released. Today, the Wazito FC cleaning continues, kicking out no good fucking hyenas, players that were recruited without my approval. All they did was to eat my money and lose games. I wish them the best on the fucking streets where they belong. They lacked self-respect and love for the game. Now you understand why. So the big issue was he called players hyenas. We had a 2-hour debate with Imran Maze on this topic when he released the tweet. Mpaka mrembo Maze alinjamia mbaya.
That topic went on till 12.
I was supposed to call my chick Maze alinjamia mbaya jo.
But tena apology hapo kwa kamera.
Lakini I apologize. So guys, Maze, this is it's a hot topic. Luckily he came out yesterday on Mad Good TV. We interviewed him together. I and Greg Mulemi interviewed him. He was also angry that people are calling him, a racist. That people were angry that he said that. Because he just didn't understand. Man, I've pumped in a lot of money into this football club. I've pumped in a lot of money into the TV station. How can you call me a racist? He's paying guys insane amount of money. What Gor Mahia can't pay even in the next 10 years.
Unless I'm chairman. Sorry guys, I just had to out there.
Yeah, so
2022 mode.
Mbaya Maze.
Actually, that interview was really inspiring. As much as he was very candid, very raw with a lot of his views, he said a few things that hit home. Because it's true, when you put a lot of your money that you can invest, actually to quote him, he said he could be spending the money on cars and fast cars in Europe. But at the end of the day, I think this is someone who's interested in the African person and honestly in just giving back to the community. The guys come from far. People laugh and say Dubai is a 4-hour flight away, but think about all the other countries in between. The guy has chosen to come here. So for me, I think what he said was strong, but I can understand his frustration. I like strong personalities. Those are people who are, most of the people with strong personalities are guys who believe in
what they want,
Yeah.
and they are not afraid to spend the money to achieve the result. Maybe there could always be things in between that we are not aware of. But the gist of it is the guy is right, man. He's paid his players for 2 years. He's actually literally, I think his players get to say whatever they want to be paid, and he pays. So I can understand his frustration. Maybe Imran and Ray have another.
Yeah, Imran definitely has another opinion, contrasting opinion.
We won't say you treat me ufala. Yeah, you can't be the owner of a club na unaenda out kupasha players wako. Hata kama una dongapi, it's not respectful.
Ray, this guy is paying guys, man. The 200,000, man.
Ama player kisign, mshalijua? Ndio ndio swali tunafuata angalia. Alijua ama player na sana. Yes, ndio.
According to him, it wasn't.
Okay.
He didn't pass through his approach.
Sawa. Then aliandika mzee. Mzee aka-approve kusign Imran papa. So uwezi enda out kutweet. Sasa nimeleta Imran na ulinichora job. It doesn't make sense. Kama ulinichora job ulinitrust kuleta maplayer. Which some of those players have played with wako fiti. Okay. Saa ingine huwezi perform. But Wazito huwezi shinda. Itakuwa tu na kupambana relegation.
Lakini unajua this guy timu yake manze ilikuwa 13th. Finished 13th with 20 points having played 23 games.
Alikam before team pande. Ndio?
Yeah.
Nani? In fact alikam time walikuwa KPL. Wakashuka wakashinda national NSL National Super League.
Akawapandisha.
Yeah.
Akachuja all those players when
That's Now the mistake was the overhaul of the squad.
He does it every time. This guy on the Twitter and every time. We don't need people like that in football. I don't care about your money. Jipanga na dozako place nyingine. Sasa ubayana wani.
Wewe unajua unaongea hivi na unaweza mchezea. Wewe acha bana.
Mimi prefer ball. Ukituletea wasela ukichora good job kama coach wangu. I'm respect. What nimesikia stories zenye ziko na happen Wazito. Huyo mzee ako na control of his ship.
Yeah, but now he has taken charge.
Papa na amechora Imran. Nana make decisions. What in my coach? Akarudisha coach wa kitambo. Bro, this is the same guy when I anatuambia John alipase. Bro, 150k 30 players is not a lot of money. Unless they peleka place ingine. And I think I invest Kenya because tax iko chini.
Check it.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do the math. 150k 30 players. Hypothetically speaking, yeah, okay? Yo, that's around 5, eh? Kakamega Homeboys, their monthly salary is the wage bill is 1.5.
Yeah.
That's a huge disparity, man.
Plays better.
But wezi chukua 150 hivyo conservative because kuna wasa kwa Rwanda and hard.
Just on an average.
Structure.
Yeah.
Structure important.
Yeah, structure no I'll get wrong.
Usikam pale kulia huo players juu ingepanda wao ni hayana. Unja anatuambia nini man? Kama tumeanza kusabol leo.
My take on that, first of all, I want to say that news first broke on our Friends of Football Twitter page. Tulikuwa the first kusema those 12 players were released, which tulisema when Hull was fired the previous day ndo akaget.
So follow us on Twitter also.
Yeah, follow us on Twitter to get the latest, freshest news. And I'll also commend Eli for the good interview. It was really insightful.
Eli ni nani? Mimi nilikuwa msana anaitwa Eli.
Mimi namuita Eli, whatever. Eli inakwanga ushaisikia ile akiintroduce kwa madem. Eli. Mimi namjua guy.
Shikanisha bana mrembo anaona show.
Kwani hapa
Elijah have to support you.
Yeah, thank you.
But anyway, back to Ricardo's tweet. For the first time, and this is one of the rare occasions, mimi na agree na nani.
It is a monumental occasion, guys.
Makofi.
But anyway, listen, I love to start by saying this. I really respect Ricardo. And I respect him for choosing Kenya to invest. I respect him for what he's done at Wazito. I'm overhaul your club in terms of salaries. And not only the club, the league. Because as in right now, if I'm Gore and let's say Kip Kurui wants to join Wazito, nitamongeza salary, and that's a good thing. However, you shouldn't call someone a fucking hyena, man. Never. Even if I stole your 100 million, don't call me a fucking.
Imran told me, man.
Especially in public, don't call me a fucking.
Imran, I have to say this. Imran told me, Eli, hata msee akilala na wife wako, ufai kumtusi.
Yeah, ufai kumtusi in public, mtusi mkiwa one on one, but not in public, on social media. Like social media usilete hiyo. And you see, what he failed to, like, what he failed to justify in his interview with you guys on Friday was that he didn't give the justification that those guys were fucking hyenas. What he said was that if someone breaks into your house and you call him a thief, it's okay because he's a thief. But that actually makes the situation worse because Nikana Sema, I can call you a fucking hyena because you're a fucking hyena.
You know,
that's what he said, yes.
But we've just seen some of the clips of Wazito. Some of the players who were released, man, we know them.
It doesn't matter.
I don't want to mention any
name. It doesn't matter.
But we know them.
Because you see, this thing happens in Europe. Sturridge amebet mara ngapi tumepata, but utapata we blast your social media at the owner the club. Nah, it doesn't happen. But he's done good things at Wazito. I'm revolutionized football in a certain aspect, and I think if he's given time, and as I take Kenyan football to another level. But don't call people fucking, especially for a club like Wazito. If I was the owner of Wazito, I'd want to encourage guys to start supporting Wazito. But if I go out dissing people and dissing players, they won't want to play for me because one, that is under pressure. One, they don't want to be called out on social media. Another thing is that you'd want to encourage fans to support Wazito. So, hiyo maneno ya dirty language, don't put it out there.
Mimi issue yangu tu ni mzee anatafuta tu publicity. Wezi ongea na players hivyo. You should just go and coach them kama any master.
Na unaweza jibishana na jamaa mbaya.
Problem ya Kenya, ball ya Kenya, tuna move players every transfer window.
Unaisema very vaguely 30 players in 30 players.
Yeah, but it's not all the teams. It's just like several teams.
No.
We had like Wazito, we had AFC, but now they have steadied their ship.
But don't justify him paying me 200 G's.
But Elijah, that steadying of the ship is because they don't have the money to spend. Whenever these clubs have had money, they change 15 players every window. It's a bit ridiculous.
Yeah, and part of our discussion, why the discussion went for 2 hours, I wish to record your discussion and put it like, put a link below, and so that you guys can listen to that whole discussion. But part of that discussion was, and what he said on Friday, on his Friday interview with Margot, he said the reason why how he got to those 12 names was based on performance. But kuna top scorer hapo ametolewa. It doesn't make sense. And some of these players actually played good at Wazito, because for you to choose a standout performer in Wazito, they were so poor that it's hard to choose a standout performer.
Walikuwa bana.
No, ilikuwa
Omurwa alicheza fiti, Musa alicheza fiti, Masika alijaribu.
Okay, let me ask you a question.
Nganga was good. Vicente was good.
Let me ask you a question. What is the
Wazito
metric you're using to justify this?
The metric I'm using is after they studied the sheep. After they removed the whole squad, when they made the overhaul, it was bad. The kind of players that they brought, they didn't bring players they needed. They brought in players based on their previous performances of 3 years ago.
So none of them players.
Case in point,
Yes.
was Nzigimana, Sibomana, Kiongera Alkamjan.
Yeah, but still, man.
But so,
when was the last time this guy played football?
He was playing in Ireland, sindio?
Division.
But alikuwa anacheza ball. Lakini tumemwona kwa ligi. All right, sawa. But what I'm trying to say, he had to clean his house first. He had to get rid of the other people. I don't want to mention names, but the sporting director, we know him, alichujwa.
But Elijah.
Coaches wakachujwa pia.
Elijah.
And the recruitment policy was bad, not only with the players, but also with the officials. So we had to get rid of them first, and then the players.
Okay.
So in January, after January is when the hall came, he had to study the ship. And he tried, but in December, ilimlemea bado kidogo. But after January, when he got the players he needed, when he got rid of the players who were signed and were not signed on merit, team ikaanza kupiga February. Wakaanza in the last 5 games, walipata 2 wins na 3 draws. So the team was actually playing,
So
started
what you're
playing well.
saying is from a possible 25 points, they took 10, 11. Na unasema wanapiga.
Mina, basing on the last 5 games, they were improving.
But you see, Eli, one thing that
Mimi mauza tu ni metric gani tunatumia kujaji.
Mina sema, after he took charge of the team. He took charge of the team midway through the season.
Yes.
Okay? Kina Solo left. Kina Okumbi left. What had happened, Okumbi was brought in as the technical director.
Okay.
But Okumbi was taking charge of training.
Okay.
As a technical director, you're not in charge of training.
But
Coach
you
is the
see-
one who's in charge of training. TD ana kazi yake ni kurecruit.
But you see, Eli, one thing
Working in tandem with the coach to see where there's a deficit. If the fullback position, you don't have good quality players. TD anaenda kuwatch ma game, anaenda ku-analyze, analeta mse.
I think mimi nimeenda teams mob sana hata trials nini ku train hata hiyo time. Sijaona I can count in one hand, in 2 or 3 fingers. Coaches nimeona hata wako na notebook. Yeah. So I don't know kumbia.
Okay, that's another thing. But now, when he steadied the ship,
Yeah.
when he took charge, when he started learning the
tricks of the game.
the tricks of the game, the team started performing well.
But you see, Eli, my problem is, how does a player, as in, na hiyo ndo swali nilikuuliza when you had that discussion. Tell me how those players stole from Ricardo. Because this is a contract. This is a contract. Umekubali, you'll pay this guy this X certain amount. And you pay him. How does he steal from you?
Pia Eli amesema kitu moja. Hao wazee wako na merit kusign kwa Wazito.
Yeah.
You should know Wazito is a small club. Sio do ifanye club iko kubwa. So wale wasa walisign kama Derek alikuwa top scorer. Saha alikuwa one of the best keepers, top 3 in the KPL. So zile unasema sawa gani wako na merit. Those players walikuwa
Zigimana so 3 years ago.
Zigimana
Formilisha. Zigimana alitolewa na Marcelo Gor Mahia.
Zigimana is the
Marcelo
captain of
kutoka
Burundi.
high school
But
the
that team
previous
was
year.
ready, bro.
Yeah.
Lakini Zigimana alitolewa na 18-year-old man.
Lakini bro
Hiyo,
unapiga. Hata ukitoka prime unafaa ukapiga kama msapa.
Usipiaje hivyo. Huu mzee wenyu wa Wazito aishie. Usijaribu ku.
Mimi hapo nasoma bana wewe.
Players kabisa.
I'm not of the opinion Ricardo should go,
Yeah,
but
he
he should put some respect. As in, foul language. Once you hold a public post, there's some things that you shouldn't do.
All right, sawa.
All right, now it's time to look at the Stars Abroad, and Stars Abroad is proudly brought to you by Imran Otieno.
Hey, thanks for the introduction. But it was a mixed week for Kenyans abroad. Olunga alirudi, yet to win a game, yet to score. They lost both games that we played in the previous week. They lost 1-0 to Tokyo in the first game after the lockdown in Japan. Came again, lost 1-3 against Yokohama, and both these games were home, so it's a little bit worrying because Omerudi, the top tier league, and they're again struggling. So hopefully, the form they'll regain their form. And there's one Kenyan who scored by the way, Daniel Anyembe, plays for SBI in Denmark, scored in the 3-1 loss to Randers. We also have Ayub Timbe who played in the 5-0 win against Luton in the championship. There's also Kenyans in Sweden. There's Joseph Okumu who played in the 1-0 win against Malmo. He plays for Elfsborg. But he lost the Swedish Cup semi-final against Gothenburg. And we also have Erik Johanna who plays for John Coffins in the Swedish second division. He played 69 minutes and they lost 3-2 to a team that has a hard name, Exilstuna, something like that. I hope I get it right. Yeah, but those are the Kenyans that played.
Also, Victor Wanyama, our captain, played in the first game since the return of football in the MLS, and they lost to New England Revolution. Yeah, they lost to 1-0. He played 90 minutes, which was good. That was his first MLS game.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, he had to lose it. It has been a bad week for Kenyan players abroad.
Was that game? That game, Impact played 5 defenders and lost 1-0 at home.
She's a number 10.
Number 10 inakonga hapa Harambee Stars.
Yeah, but also in the MLS, there was a Kenyan who was in the bench, and Nawala Bwana.
Yeah.
The team played on Friday. Nini against San Jose Earthquake. He plays for Seattle Sounders.
All right, then we're done. I guess we're done with the stars abroad, man.
Yeah.
Thanks, man. At least we know we're keeping tabs with our stars abroad. So I hope they keep us proud and keep doing what they do best, man. Guys, this week, I hope you guys start registering wins, man.
Yeah,
all the best.
On stars abroad, Kahata was officially a champion.
Yeah, we have to talk about that, eh? Kachi, so proud of you, man.
Hey, man, 4 titles consecutively, 3 with Gor Mahia, now with Simba. He might be the first Kenyan to do that.
That's fine.
With 4 consecutive Kenyan league and foreign league.
Amazing player. He had a good...
left back.
All right, now let's go to the transfer zone, and in the transfer zone, we're just going to mention a deal that is likely or possibly it could happen in the coming weeks, and this is Lautaro Martinez. Lautaro Martinez plays for Inter Milan in the Serie A. Allegedly he has agreed personal terms with Barcelona to go to Barcelona. However, the move hinges on Coutinho being sold to another team.
To a big team, the blue side of Massive side.
That's a huge step down.
Coutinho, if you see this, I beg you, please come. We'll take cigarettes on shirt and give it to you.
But anyway, like we discussed last week, Barcelona, their recruitment strategy has been really poor. I think for you to take Lautaro Martinez, Jamaa thrive Barcelona. Where will he play? There's another Coutinho in Barcelona, so another Griezmann in Barcelona. Can't play.
I think Lautaro has a play.
He's like another Suarez, eh?
Lautaro has a play because Mr. Messi. That's the only way to play. Also because Suarez is a little old, right? So they're looking at a younger player. So yeah, if he goes now, but they'll have to sacrifice Griezmann because Lautaro plays in the middle. So itabidi Griezmann arudi pale TMA side.
Yeah, back home where he belongs.
Okay, now we're done with the transfer news. Now
we have to talk about Ake joining Man United.
Hapana. Tulikuwa hapana.
We need a left side in center.
Hapana, hiyo tuongelee manze. So now let's turn our attention now to European football now. Sasa tumeingia Europe vizuri sasa, and we're focusing on the UEFA Champions League. The UEFA Champions League draw is out, and my oh my, that draw is mouth watering. I can't wait for the games to be played, man. Guys, I don't know about you guys.
First of all, there was a discussion we were having before the show. Papa alikuwa anasema PSG will beat Atalanta, and for me, I beg to differ. And I told him, put it on tape. The floor is yours.
I think PSG watapiga Atalanta because one, if you look at the pathway that they have to the final, this is, in my opinion, the easiest route they probably ever had and probably will get. Imran,
What in fact,
Elijah, wacha nilete Elijah kwa argument. Wanaongea ni kama wajui Mbappe na Neymar. You know, people are here riding this wave of, oh, Atalanta are playing so well in Europe. Oh my God, I don't know, they're playing so well in the league. They play against 35-year-old defenders, Diego Godin, who play in a system, I don't know, that has 6 guys at the back. Guys, well, okay, ngoja. Kwa strike force ya Atalanta wako na Duvanza Pata, who's in really good form. But if you look at how he moves with the ball, he could bring you between 30 and 45.
Aina shida.
Kwa UCL, man.
Cheki, aina shida. Muriel,
What you getting? Mbappe and Neymar were there previously. Na Manu ikawatoa. So I don't know why you're putting Neymar and Mbappe.
The team.
Unajua you guys are talking as if
Walikuwa PSG. Bado walikuwa PSG.
Guys, one thing people are forgetting, the Manchester United side that faced PSG were much stronger team than this Atalanta. This Atalanta is just on a...
No, that man check it. Listen. No, it's not about scare.
Yeah, but give me the 5 players who are
Ogutu. It's not about 5 players who are better. It's about the system. Is the system working? The system is perfectly working for Atalanta, the highest scoring team in Serie A. In Europe, wako top 3. They could have surpassed, not Bayern. Bayern have scored a lot of goals, 100. They could have surpassed PSG. This team is a well-oiled machine, man. And that's the thing. And if you look at PSG's defense, it's not that good.
If you couple it with the fact that PSG haven't played since March,
yeah,
it's worrying. And
of course, they'll play a few games here and there. They'll play in the final of the Coupe de France against Saint-Etienne.
There were no goals. La Liga, no goals. I remember the first game was Betis Sevilla.
Okay, let me ask a question.
It ended 2-0.
Who have Atalanta played on their route in this competition to this point?
They played Man City, Valencia.
Man City, Shakhtar, Valencia. Who have PSG played en route to this?
Real Madrid,
Pilsen, Dortmund.
Yeah, so
I think that's Bruges.
Yeah, so for me, no.
Okay,
you guys, I'll be willing to put my money where my mouth is. Nitawaletea message.
Uzuri tusha record. That's good. So we have evidence. So, but what you're saying, that route for a PSG is really good because in the other game it's RB Leipzig and Atletico Madrid. I don't know about that. You guys,
in Germany 2-0 at the one.
It's one game.
But it's 2-0.
It's one game. It's just one game.
I don't think so.
You think?
Yeah, I think Leipzig have a lot of issues in terms of season imeisha. They would have played games, and also Werner is gone to Chelsea, so probably he's not in the right state of mind to play. And Atletico have regained their form, so I tip Atletico to meet Atalanta in the semis.
All right. Then in the other side, the other route is the games. The last 16 games were not completed, so we'll be having Man City play against Real Madrid in the Etihad. Then we have Juve versus Olympique Lyon. Then Barca versus Napoli, and Bayern versus Chelsea. I think that tie between Chelsea is over. Yeah. Chelsea Bayern is over. Then we have Barca and Napoli.
No, that's
Barca Napoli. You're not convinced with Napoli?
Napoli of late have been poor, so
yeah.
I'll go with Barca.
All right. Then Juve.
It's only one game.
Juve Lyon.
You will win.
Hey, but okay, Juve, man, they're not that solid, man. After that 4-2 win, they lost 4-2 win for Milan.
Vile papa anasema hii ndio mwaka PSG. Hii ndio mwaka Juve watawini kitu. Wasipowini mwaka watawini.
So this is that time. Unasema nini? Lakini so menunua hata Melo.
Melo is good.
What about Man City and the inform Real Madrid?
If Real beat Man City, mpaka finali. Sisi wanajua kucheza tournaments.
I think that's the most exciting game. I also would like to stake my claim for. I think Napoli pia watakuwa game fun sana coach. I don't think kuna pressure more actually, but they're in a good position. So alitoka 1-1.
Yes. 1-1 Italy. Ikonuka.
Yeah, they just need to get on.
Okay, sawa. So now let's turn our attention to the English Premier League kidogo. There was a lot of controversy in between the week. The games that were played midweek, we had very contentious calls by the VAR. First of all, we'll start with the game between Manchester United and Aston Villa. The Villa game was I don't understand, man.
Five penalties this season.
John Moss.
Ninapata kujua hivyo. Mimi ndawachia hapo sitaongea tena. Nikiongea itakuwa tu.
Lakini ukisikia mafano wa Mani wakiongea, unaweza dhani hata wao wameshinda ligi.
No me downongea. These guys are haters. One, that was not a penalty. For me, that was not a penalty. And you see, the reason why VAR didn't overrule Jonathan Moss' decision because there was no sufficient evidence to overrule his call.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
Sufficient evidence.
What is sufficient evidence?
Ukweli, that was not a penalty. Don't get me wrong. That was
It's not a penalty.
Umechomea mafano mani, so I have to have a voice.
Imran,
I have to have a
sasa.
voice in this.
Imran,
But
time out. Imran, time out.
One thing.
Imran, time out.
Hakuna evidence ya kuoverrule hiyo kitu.
No, anyway, I don't
Okay, what are the grounds of overruling that decision? Si ndio? Mbona overrule decision ya ref?
Kwa monitor?
Okay, that's the problem. Ndio nilikuwa nataka kusema, you see, for me, what I'd advocate for VR, tusikize kitu ref anasema na tusikize ule mse yako kwa
Like in
VR,
rugby, yeah?
kitu anasema, like
Yeah.
rugby. Hiyo ndio itakuwa we'll make a good judgment from judging from what the ref has said and
I think
Yeah.
lines when waliona juu wenyewe Imran amepiga decision mbaya, wacha si tu hold. Wangeweza overrule, that was a bad decision to be.
It was terrible.
It was bad.
There's a reason why there was no English referee in the 2018 World Cup, and now we see why. Then we had the game between Bournemouth and Tottenham Hotspur. For me, that was a clear penalty. It was a push on Hurricane. Hata Mourinho alikuwa amejam mbaya sana.
Clear.
So no issue. Then we had the Everton game against, was it Soton? Yeah. I don't understand how these penalties are being given. Papa, I thought that was a harsh penalty. It was not even a penalty. That guy alijigonga for Gomez, man. I think it was given. I mean, the VAR has the privilege of reviewing the footage, watching it over and over again.
As an Everton fan, one reason the decision could be questioned, but one reason I can't really lament is because I'll say this, I think it's really funny. Muliona game yetu na Spurs. Everton na Tottenham.
Yeah, part of it.
Gomez alikuwa na kanyaga watu na kupata alipewa kadi like 2 minutes before the game. So I don't know which decisions they value. I don't know how it works. I don't know the priority.
It's a clear and obvious error, goal, red card decision. So
But
is
you
it
see-
a yellow card? They won't review it. Lakini hiyo ya pena, that was not a penalty. Kusema kweli, I think VAR wanagopanga ku overrule the referee.
Yeah, for me, one
That's
thing,
what I've come to discover.
referees pia wanafaa kuenda hapo kwa touchline, they review the footage, alafu they make a concrete decision. And another thing about VAR is that some of these calls that they make, tunafaa kuzisikiza ndo tujue what the ref is saying. No, at least we make a judgment. Because here Manu maze, it wasn't a penalty. And you see some of these decisions, as in foul kama hiyo inge happen maybe in the middle of the pitch, ingekuwa foul. It takes away defending from the game. As in sahi huwezi defend, huwezi make tackle because unajua tu either penalty or something of the sort.
Okay. So guys, let's take a look at the weekend fixtures this weekend. There are interesting games in the English Premier League. There's a game between Norwich. It was Norwich and West Ham.
Yeah.
What do you think about that game?
West Ham walimaliza mechi yangu home. For me that was hizo ndo game unataka ushinde ndio ubaki kwa league. So I don't know if today the players are in a better physical condition. I don't know. What a win.
I think it will be a goal in that game. Both teams will score. Because Norwich are very poor at the back. I think they've shipped in the most amount of goals in the league. West Ham are also poor defensively. I expected them to win against Burnley. Burnley are comfortable, mid-table, and you go ahead and lose against Burnley at home. So goal for that game.
Ukiniona na Burnley nini
Hmm?
team iko fit.
Merit.
Iko fiti, but
Shondaiga kuna team
it's about who wants it more, who is hungry.
No,
And in that game,
good
West
team.
Ham was supposed to be hungry. Believe me.
Burnley are a good team.
They play
Defensive-wise,
the same
attacking,
way
they are
Atletico
very
play in
good.
Spain, but with a less dynamic team and 2 target men.
Na hakuna
They
draw.
perfected the system.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. All right. In fact, some of these games, man, they're just taking our time. Let us look at the big games. The big games will be having Sheffield and Chelsea. You know that European position. I mean, yeah. The irony I'm saying it's a big game and it's Sheffield, man. Yeah, but we just have to mention Sheffield. This season they've been really immaculate. Apart from the the sleep they had after the resumption of the games, but they have been good this season. Chelsea, the fight for UCL is really heating up. Chelsea still have to play Leicester. They still have to play Liverpool. So it's going to be a very interesting end to the season. However, Sheffield, Chelsea, let's focus on that. How do you think that game will go?
Go fast, just to keep things interesting. So, I watched the Chelsea game versus Crystal Palace and I was amazed. Wilfred Zaha, in the last 5 minutes, was able to carve that team open with a really good cross, and he was dribbling and getting past their defenders really well. So I started to ask myself if this is really a team that can solidify the top 4 contention, because if that happens twice or thrice, you can lose games. They were very lucky, Kazuma with the tackle. Obviously, I haven't watched Sheffield's games a lot. The last one I watched was against, I think, Manchester United. It was really boring. So for me, I think maybe a draw. I'm not sure, because the Sheffield, if Sheffield win today, it's really interesting. I also don't think Leicester will finish in the top 4, but that's just me. Maybe you guys.
Yeah, for me,
A quick one.
A quick one. I want Sheffield to beat Chelsea. However, I don't think that will happen. I expect a low-scoring game.
Yeah.
Chelsea win. Giroud are gonna form.
Okay. All right. We also have the North London derby, man. Our cameraman is called Kamau and he's a great fan of Arsenal, man. This game we have to win. Amaji Kamau. Ashasema hoye. So yo, it's at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium.
Yeah, Mourinho anakuanga na beef na Arsenal. I don't think he'd want to lose against Arsenal. So either Spurs win or draw. I don't see Arsenal winning. That's what I can say.
Mnatudharau mazee.
For me, Arsenal win.
Thank you. Ulituona against Wolves, eh? Yeah, tuko na kitu.
Kuna game tulicheza na Wazito nikiwa AFC. Ndio Matano alisema nini kwa chini hiyo.
Nasema nini?
Huyu kocha haniwezi. Yaani huyu hawezi.
That's enough motivation.
Tosha. Huyu mtu akinishinda yeye ni ampipa.
Aya.
I think Mourinho Arteta should be, hiyo ndio mimi naiko hivyo. Ni coaching tu.
All right. Aya, man. Guys, we've come to the end of the show, man. Thank you very much for watching the podcast. Drop a comment in the comment section below. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Man, this is the channel you should be watching each and every weekend to know what's happening in the world of football, locally and internationally, man. So remember to keep on subscribing and watching our shows, and also tell your friend, man. Tell a friend to tell a friend about the Friends of Football podcast, man. Thank you very much for watching, and remember to keep safe. Coronavirus is real, man. Out.